Chazalo Kange Lodru Jini Jinja Nida Nanda Ravzavi Jini Dugu Jijin Zinjir Nidi Duga Lebam Kanda Zibi Jaramari Mondom Dongal Yezir Rozo Gula Boji Dara Yelan Joju Demo Doda Jedo Nyamon Lady Jadu Dozeji Mare Munzel Dunganyo Chine Jozer Alji Dene Daji Zaji Tarzi Yuden Lezo Yalse Doek Joda Jodan Joni Jende Dalu Munzel Jambe Yala Du Marabadu Arabaza Tsenen Jeje Jera Zerenji Talu Demo Mombaravzali Kada Denju Sholo Dobai Lodge Bobe Nawa Zadosu Kanze Dawar Deba Chonze Chewar Denaya Ombo Jamya Deni Keme Baryan Dowar Sho Tene Samba Chachawa Changju Samji Kulungi Saldamne Sembar Shu Ta Sembar Chawa Chuni Chumju Kum Rim Rapsal Ni Mare Ne Tadina Ne Tonda Kashi Shu Chupche Ne Ngazu Tanda Niba Kangi Jube Sambare Tadila Ne Jorwa Woshi Che Sum Yubi Nane Tomba Lang Chodin Jora Yukordin Sare Ne Jorwa Tela Yang Ne Yalak Tumba Ji Rimba Yubi Nane Tatambo Ngazu Ne Choba Bulbe Yalak Kashi Shu Chupche Ne Kashi Lakde Yure Tikale Shugin
Now, please arouse a mind of awakening, that is bodhicitta, and then that's pivot, listen to the teachings. We're starting a guide to meditating on the Bodhisattva-Charyavatara. There we are looking at the attitude with which one practices, and that pertains to the Bodhisattva vow, receiving the Bodhisattva vow. When it comes to the Bodhisattva vow, there are 3 stages. Right? First is the preparation, then the main part of the vow itself, and the conclusion. And right now we're looking at the preparation. There we have finished looking at the first part, which is generating enthusiasm while reflecting on the benefits of bodhicitta. Now we're still at the second part of the preparation, which is the 7 branch practice. There among the 7 branches of the practice. We are still looking at the first one, the branch of making offerings, and there's still a little bit left from yesterday to discuss about that.
Yundin Yazo Soki, Deba Yangje Chebasa, Tadi Cheba Pulgu Barete, the Chedan de Deba Gune, and Cheba Puere, and the Sanje Yiku Sondu, Yundin Denzo, Chenne, Cheba Puere, and Jeda Sanje Yiku Rojila Sambadamba Yina, good sense on the Sonina, Beji Jeji Temba, Sonya Yala, Song La Samadana, Sonya Yala Tuju, Ranshin. Two class Samadana, two Chamba, seven newbie. You need them just sound everybody. That's Angela, then there's Debache. Any Janju Samba Namla Samadana Yena, any Stemje Shendon, any Yanda Pendo Chumba Yina, Range Sona, Lula Sobala, Turban member. Then the Semjan Tamja Sanje go one queer Yanni. And a pa, Shumba Tuda Nambakun may be Ranshin, Janju Samba Namres. Any Dini Jita Kasur, Jungsa Shiro, the Tambuchu, Londo Jichu Generation Race, and that energy, Gune, Sangma, Turbache, and the Turba Dang Dang, Yang Da, that energy going to Tena and Jigure. And Jung Jitsu to Canada Lurgin and Dune, and it's a Yula, the Turba Chena and Jigure. The Kanda Turba Yang Jishabasana. Yundin to Chune, and the Turba Puede Young, and Chibi Rixires.
So let's look at the text where we have left off yesterday on page 9 in our translation. At the top, we have finished the explanation of the verse 22, which was the offerings that are not entitled here in our translation, but that, they have a name, unsurpassable offering, explained in verse 22. And now we're moving to the next verse, 23. And that one is also a special type of offering known as the offering of melodious praises. So when the text reads, with vast oceans of melodious praise, I honor these oceans of good qualities. May clouds of sweet and gentle praise ascend unceasingly before them. Here, we make an offering to the Buddha's bodhisattvas by melodiously praising them. We praise the qualities of the Buddha, of the Dharma, and the Sangha. So, for example, to name a few qualities of the Buddha, there we always distinguish between the qualities of his body, his speech, and his mind. Right? So when it comes to the body of the Buddha, it's said that he's endowed with the special marks, special features, namely 32 major and 80 minor marks. So altogether 112 special marks and characteristics of a greater man. When it comes to his speech, it is said that the Buddha's speech is endowed with 60 special qualities, right? And when it comes to his mind or his heart, his wisdom, it's endowed with three main qualities. So the first one is the omniscient knowledge. The second one is this unbiased, loving compassion towards everyone. And the third quality is the capacity, power to guide everyone according to their needs. So that, for example, just to name some qualities of the Buddha, when it comes to bodhisattvas, the beings that aspire to achieve Buddhahood, right, who are still on the path, the bodhisattvas, their qualities are such that they are ready, they're committed to benefit sentient beings even at the cost of their lives. Even if they need to give up on themselves, they're ready to do that if it's going to enact a great benefit on others. So also, bodhisattvas have a quality of never giving up on others, never getting discouraged, right, or disheartened by in the task of bringing all beings to the state of awakening. Such is a great commitment on the qualities of the bodhisattvas. We can go on and on. There's also qualities of the Dharma, the qualities of the Dharma of scriptures, the qualities of the Dharma of realization. and we're not going to dwell on that. But so when we make an offering here, we can basically sing this verse out loud melodiously with a nice melody. That would be an offering. If we can't sing, well, we can just read it slowly and nicely, and while making an offering, while praising the qualities of the Buddhas, the Dharma, the Sangha. Now that would constitute the offering of melodious praises. That's all.
So, some shosoji, Kubachaki Shabadang, Jebu Sidin Chedin, Ning Tabana Jasa, that do some Kubachaki Shabar, that Chaki Shabadi Yang Ni, that Sidi Duan, and the Kurang Nibat in the Komnayan, the Yana, Luging also Chasava Lasobachanayan, the Yure. That Casita Luigi was that Lu Lang the Donguina, then the Yatan Majar, and the Nesum do to, and the Casore, Nanga de Sala to Ne, and the Chaside in the Yungu, those Chenan degree. They may not any young so cousin, Omaji, but so to the Lute, and the Tonsum Jede, Tam Jacaba part the Lute Mambo Chasson Tul. Such a you told Danya Mambo to. They Lutu, but the Conjo Sum Boyd and the Changalatane, and the Chasawa, so the Jizu de Sanje da Changja Saman de Shabla and Tuin, the Lu, Changme Mambotulia, the Shabla Tuba than the Con, no conscious on the Chasa instant, or Tenet and Anti Jay and Naji Gonet and the Chasa with the Citizens, Yung Corona, the Citizens, or Che, you could net Taba down, Kuba down, Meba, Yoba, or the legend Dogu Yoba in Anata Chasa with Chawasi, that it, Yung. Success limit on the Taran China and regular young that those made by Tachumbo Mambo Dogun at the Sanje Kangdon Tumba. Sanje Kangdo Sanke, but Kangdo and Caso should you call local Kangdon numbers of Casagore, Yangale Deba, or Neshila Soba, Nation Gela Soba. And the Tedan Dinzo Sama Latin Soji young Chasaba Baba. Tagana in the San Changes and Basachum, but the younger or Tinzo Gine, the land and the
Yes. Mikpad, right? Direčena. Next, we're moving to the last type of offering, here known as the offering of respect and homage. Right? On page 9, we have the two verses that start with the lines, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms in the universe, I prostrate and bow before the Buddhas of the past, present, future, the Dharma and Supreme Assembly. And so here we have these verses that are used for the offering of prostrations. So there are a few ways to make this offering. We either just recite these two verses while visualizing that we are paying homage and making prostrations, right? Just doing that in our minds. Or we could actually engage in a physical act of prostration. In this case, we should join the palms of our hands and bring them to the three places of our body. So we first place them at the crown of our head, then at the throat, and at the heart, right? So representing our body, speech, and mind, kind of offering body, speech, and mind. And then we touch the ground with our hands, and with our head, kind of literally physically bowing down and prostrating. We could also, in that case, while physically paying homage, physically prostrating, we should recite these verses that would be of, prostrating with our speech, like making offering with our speech. And with our mind, we should feel trust, devotion, respect. So that would be paying homage when we physically actually engage in the act of prostration. Bringing hands to three places and then placing them on the ground, touching the ground with our forehead while reciting this verse, and our hearts filled with trust, devotion, faith. Or we can also visualize, as it says here, multiplying my body as many as many times as there are atoms in the universe. We could also engage in the practice that was previously explained a little bit, that we can actually practice in our mind, and mind has all this power that we could visualize, right? As many bodies, our own bodies, as there are atoms in the universe. So basically we visualize how our own body feels the whole of the universe, and all those bodies of oneself are now present in front of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, making offerings by prostrating to them, right? So paying homage to them. If we were to elaborate even more, then we could visualize that actually we're making those, prostrations in the special places connected to the Buddha Shakyamuni. So we speak of the 4 great places or the 8 great places. 4 great places would be the place where the Buddha was born, Lumbini, where he attained enlightenment in Bodh Gaya. Then he turned the Dharma wheel for the first time. So he gave first sermon in Varanasi, and he passed away in Kushinagara. So now we can actually visualize that we are traveling there, especially easy these days when we can't travel anywhere. So we visualize how we are right there in those special places, in front of the Buddhas, in front of Bodhisattvas. Our bodies, feels the whole of the universe, multiple bodies prostrating to the Buddhas while reciting the verses, while generating faith, devotion, and respect. So we can do that physically, or we can actually engage in this practice by using our creative imagination also.
Teta jang shing tabo kunju sumje chengar ngobo tabo tegwa da madre shing serne machingpa samba tabo lenda namila rewa mebe semji bulwa bos. Tati choba prudanji kejare choba pul yondu ta pulsa yuldi kunju sum la pul kore sepe kejaro khasang azo dunji namgala sanje yeyon la chanje samba yobadine salta yodu sana kunju sum taran chasaware. Tīla choba pulsarwa, tā choba pulyungdu puljaji, ngobo di kandik porasi du, tā ngosu joru choba rauji yinba ondu dāna, tekba da mandeba segurwa, pina kuma kyabnyo raudang, chakba kyabnyo, chokyo raudang, gogor dangyo la soba, tenreji chala yina tekba da nreba chakuyore, tenmeba, serne majingba. 소소제 왔다 방송 예배 돈에 아니 저거 보고 있는 데 되게 많아. 방송 매봐 주고 그래. 선는 맞은 거. 아니 선바다 벌렌다 남밀라 레와 매봐대 부비가 그냥 아니 렌스에서는 단단하게 바로 저거 볼수는 콩알아 좀 맞지 되기래서 네 건조 좀 저거 볼도 건조 좀 나갈 도저 쓰네. 니가라 딜 약서 저라 그래서 다들 렌라 레와라. 아니 남밀라 레와서도 좀 뜻겨워 제마 아니 네 choba pulsana dine kyo chema ngala ni kyo raksagir nor raksagir ngadu chemba di longjo chemba tangso na dewa namindi longjo tobore sigiro ta kyo chema longjo bono soba tobore san dende ge rawa yoba yina ani yanko te mi kyanzo ji chak yore te choba pul kazang robji shure choba pul du ani mi toba tangire mi mombo jo kola yakbo labure ni dera u cheba yina ko len la rewa do chirwa somano ko choba pe abu purgudu das tende je ni tsing nyembu ko yachi to choba bunna de yan de yo mare tende kaya me ba sozo ji samlo di ane lega de kunju somna choba pu yere ane kasura ko choba pu yundu sana rang tang shen semjen tamji ye tekba taya da ane tharba tang tamje je mo gobang tobe la ane to che sigire te che du ne choba pu go nyamba ji kogoro wa ma do ba nenda namin rewa yobe tono chobo na ta chobo zeda yoje se kachum yo chukchum yo ba ina yang gewu neba de to chungdo jogo yore kulong ji to di ta serna me ba na kulong number ta ba yo ba ina ane pulle ji zed medog chig ji bu pe wa che medog chi ta ko sem ta bo dang zang ma ya bu yo de me se pen kachum ba cha sa wore dindi serna me ba dang ane 렌다 남밀라 레와메베 돈에 아니 그런 다 넘버 답에 돈에 표디 개좀 뭐지 자기 유바 레슨다디 개지디디 된 것도 와 나서
And then the text states that So for all these 8 types of offering, bring to mind the meaning of the words and offer them sincerely from the depths of your heart. So we've covered the 8 types of offering. That's how to do them. While reciting the verses, we should reflect on the meaning. And then the text further explains how to properly engage in the practice of making offerings. It states, all these offerings are made in the presence of the 3 jewels, who are the pure field. The substances themselves are pure, since they are not polluted by unwholesome actions or stinginess. And the motivation is also pure, because there is no expectation of gaining something in return or some karmic reward. This paragraph outlines or highlights the main aspects of engaging in the practice of making offerings. So the recipients of our offerings, as it says here, are the 3 jewels. So we need to visualize them in the space in front of us while making the offerings. And the offerings themselves should be pure. If we think about the actually present offerings, like what we actually arrange, the material things, they should be pure in a way that they shouldn't be acquired through any negativity or unwholesome action. We shouldn't, they shouldn't have been stolen or, acquired through like cheating someone or, lying to someone, right? It shouldn't be done through those kind of unwholesome actions. Also, they should be offered without any sense of stinginess, without being bound by stinginess. And what is really important is to have pure intention free of any hope of reward and return. And so when we offer, we shouldn't be thinking about, oh, what will I get by making offerings to the 3 jewels? Maybe if I give to 3 jewels, I will, get something like their blessings, right? I will get something in return, something that I need. Or if we speak of karmic reward, that would be expecting something to receive back in the future lives. Like, oh, by making offerings in this life, I will be rich. I will have a lot of possessions, a lot of money in the future lives. That's kind of an expectation, right there, hoping for some kind of retribution, for some kind of reward. For example, also thinking that, oh, if others see that I make this grand offering, then they will praise me. They will say how great, this person is, so generous, so, wonderful, great practitioner. If we fish for this kind of praise, then we don't have a pure motivation. We have some selfish agenda, and that will spoil the whole practice of making offerings. Because the most important here is while making offerings, is to have pure intention. And with pure intention, even if we offer 1 single flower or 1 stick of incense, the offering will result in great accumulation of merit. Right? We might offer a whole lot, but if our motivation isn't pure, if it's mixed with some selfish agenda, some kind of expectation, then it's not going to result in merit. And so good intention would be, while making offering, to wish that this practice may purify the negativities of all beings, myself and others. May all beings for this practice attain enlightenment. So that should be our primary motivation while making offerings.
So, tadi chala nyeba kyabsu droba yul kyabarjin tejen tomo mayimbe konjo sumla samba kyabarjin semjen tamji ye tundu tuyu zobe sangye ma zobe changju mato bardo kyabsu dro nyambe changju ingbo so lensum chas tadi kyabdo redo ta kyabdo de sanje babang topdu ta tharbadang tamji kimbe babang topdu yena namji koam shisana mendo ngazo khangmana zuyu ji ngo nangsinde kyabsu drowa de re de yure ne kyabsu mandro ay kunjo somba ta kyabsu mandro na tharbadang tamji kimbe babang tobe je lamga ashidang shi kaya mebare ta kangsa chige kyabsu domba shu ene kyab gyundu kyabsu dro de yoba ina Tarbi Namgi, Koto di Titune Chesambarella, Kansa di Kewa Kari Chava in a young Kewa di Nuba Chawadang, Shu Chava Yungure. And on a cousin almost some Jacob of the Titoji Shake to Kari Relam, Chedang Naranzo Kewa Le Yang, Jabdu Kewa di Shadaki Nuba Chabare. Jabdu draw Simbi Le Yang, Kewa Le Yang and Karsure. Semji Kewa di Nuba Chavayure. Then a Madoma, and Jabdu di Nuba Chungjung make a mare.
Gonda Denena Tamaji,
Chedang
Semkedan Durna?
Semje Dang Jabdu Ning Jama Turba in a Semje Nuba Chagre.
Semkenyu Pachegere, less.
In a
Inayan.
Semke Sav Relamna, Jabdu Tomado Yoba Shirshare, Jabdu Mena, Semji Tomba Tobu Horamare, Tomba Tamji Zawa, Hido di Jabdure, Jabdu Mena Soda Ritun Zokaya Tomba di Shutu Marela, Semje Tomba and Shutu Mare. Takol Sajadodi, Nazo Meet Tekoguina, Sakugure, Shingdong Chekoguna, Sakugure, Ritan Tag Joina, Samina. The kind young men also took on the deck a laborwa. Chu Kangla take over such a so good Akonala. To sing the Damra just when they gonna take over to her. So to test a sheet of the Jabdore.
So that was for the first branch out of 7 branches, and the next one is the branch of taking refuge. Right, we're still in the preparation for the Bodhisattva vow. Right, we have the preparation consists of 7 branches. So now, after the offering, we take refuge, and the text states, "Consider that you take refuge in those exceptional objects, the free, rare, and supreme jewels of the uncommon greater vehicle, and you do so with an exceptional motivation for the benefit of all sentient beings until you attain complete enlightenment." And recite verse 26 3 times. Now we have this verse 26 of going for refuge. Now we have the practice of going for refuge, which is it's like the excuse me, it's like the foundation of all other Buddhist practices. All other practices, whatever they may be in the Buddhist path, they all unfold from taking refuge. They all unfold on the basis of taking refuge. Nothing is possible if there's no refuge. First, we need to take refuge, and that's like, laying a foundation for all further subsequent Buddhist practices. It's like earth, everything rests on the earth. We can have everything, even water, right? Making a pond, having a forest, whatever it is, everything is based on the earth. So refuge is like this kind of ground. Without it, there's no liberation and there's no omniscience, state of a Buddha. Now, to receive refuge vow, what happens when we receive refuge vow, then everything we do, any kind of virtuous act, wholesome act we do, it becomes more powerful. Right? It has that kind of power, that vow, to increase, to enhance our good, wholesome deeds. Like they become more powerful, more potent. Then we might wonder, but that was said, the same about bodhicitta. When we take bodhicitta, anything we do becomes virtue. So if we actually were to compare, it's true that bodhicitta has more power to increase this kind of virtue or wholesomeness. Bodhicitta is the state of mind that if we have it, then whatever we think or do becomes much more potent. So, but it doesn't mean that refuge is not important, because actually we can only have bodhicitta if we have taken refuge. All the other vows, like any vow of monastic vow, vow of individual liberation, or layperson vows, can be received only once one have received a refuge vow. So that in this way, even bodhicitta vow comes only after refuge vow. That's all.
So, that did our Che Yung Dizana, also capture Dogger as a lago. Any capture Dog when a capture Dog, you'll the career lamna, you'll cabarin 대전 도모 많이 건조 숨송을 제도 율데 건조 숨을 잡서 도고 그래. 난 가르치는 건조 숨을 잡서 도고 그래서 아니 또 제가 가서 잡서 도고 그 중간 관한 동안에 달해지더라. 나 동안도 나라강에도 아니 레다 녀몽지 샤원도 쇼르샤 제가 딜에 타르고도 라고요. 딜에 타르고는 아니 타르심베 강사식라 잡수 도고 밤 타르베 람라 잡수 도고 그러와 되네 많이 샴발라 잡수 도가르 챤나양데 소소지 미귤도 줍도고요 말에 미귤도 나도 동아 탐질레 잘 거고도 내가 동아 탐지 잘 내가 강에도 매버 소여서 잡아는 양 강에 잡아 딜을 하즈 lep스 그래 양 엄마 제 강에라 양저 무트네 로 잡스 그래 제가 강에 탐지 살 거고요 다 강가 탐지 살고 강가 용조 살 셈밤 강가 탐질레 졸 셈바데 상제라고요 강갈기 동al 탐지 졸제지 람데 명라 담비 쳐서기요 강갈디 타르바당 딜레 졸르치베 람조 톡당 람로 두게 내가블라데 강가 서버 지금 나라 로바 지금 되면라 겐든스기요 제상테는 콘조스 마도 냠네 양다 버셔바지 잔이 요마라 제마다 다만다 망보지 툰도 버좀보지 요래데 코랑 동al 탐질라 타르센 요마라 내가 또또서니 대화도 유저를 마도 근데 타르도 대화도 더 매버래 그래서 콘주스 마도 냠네 양다 셴바지 요 말해서
So when we take refuge in exceptional objects. That's the three rare and supreme jewels. The Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and they are exceptional. Because in a way, they're exceptional in a way that they are the sole refuge for those who seek freedom from all the different types of suffering, pain, difficulties. Right? We could take refuge in other objects. They might help us temporarily, but basically to free us from this fundamental dissatisfactory nature, right? That's always there. The problems always come back. It's not like we can be free once and for all. Sometimes we are, sort of well off, but then problems, difficulties always return. Right? That's the kind of a nature, cyclic nature of samsara. And to be free once and for all, we need to rely on someone who had gone, out of this cycle, who basically broke free of this repetitive cycle of suffering and dissatisfaction, and that's the Buddha. And so if we wish to be free from all the suffering once and for all, we need to rely on someone who had experienced that freedom, right? Someone who can support us and guide us. So that's the Buddha. And the Dharma is the path to freedom. That's the teachings, the methods that are given to us that can lead us to the state of freedom. By freedom, we mean free of all the problems, all the difficulties, right? The way to that freedom is known as the Dharma. And the Sangha is the assembly, a group of spiritual companions who are also on the same path, and we can help each other. They can assist us, they can help us, right? They're spiritual companions. And these three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha, they have the power to help us, right? To cross out of the cyclic existence of samsara. Other methods, other objects can also help once in a while. Of course, they do, and they grant us some degree of happiness or comfort, but it's only temporary. The real genuine happiness lies when we out of repetitive cycle of all this dissatisfaction and suffering, and what can really guide us there is someone who already traversed the path. And so that's the Buddha and his teachings, the Dharma, and companions who are on the same path are the Sangha. And that's the three jewels, the true objects, exceptional objects of refuge.
wasn't just about you go do it and take all that. And I said, Gulaman on a song you jab and a test, Mambo Yorede, Kotos Kabo Yongudo, Tishi Raj in the Mashubache, test Tubach in the Shugi. Gyulamanala Sanje Kasagoro, Tony Yundin Kaden, Che Golam Yundin Kaden, Kendun Rudul Yundin Kaden Sungudi, Yabu Yorede, Dana Lamdang Shunades, Kokabu Rochi Chasare, Chedu di Nega Rochilo Todochin Hugin. That Tony Yundin Kaden, Rangdun Chogu Yuguna Toba Tarchimbana, Shendun Sugu Yuguna, Chinle Tarchimba, or Dini Gone, Dudugudu. Rangdun Chogu Toba Tarchimba said, Pangdo, Pangja, Nyomabana, Sheje Tribala Soba, Gun, Hanging Magabasa Gugure. Then also Gun Hamja Jungshi, Semre de Semji, Namdo, Semji Nyomamba, Tenzo Yana, Digi Dehu Yang, Yamalevingure. The Namdo, the Nyomamba is the Tasona, Tabarwa, Chazan Rangdun, Jungone, Bangjan Yomaba Yongzuba Tamji, some as a Sheje Tribana Chaba. Can the Gun Tamje says Mare. 아니 또 똑바디 가리 타르싱으로 시행 건바양 참마 챙겨래 다 견매바이나 연된 가리도나 뭐 연된 용조 다 연된 그런 가서 그래 캠비 연된 참마 상거래 제다 위주 시제함지 저 말려바 탐지 레준데라서 바당 다 덴바니다 덴바시 아니 대자마서 두유숨이 시제 저 탐지 라들라 다 깨진이라 두유숨이 시제 저 탐지 견도 부여래 아니 디 지자위 쳔바로와 근데 진예바 한 디 진예비 쳔바래 제다위 쳔바데 내로 동반이 저바 탐전한다로 잉랑신데 나 도바 타르쳔바 인두 네 랑던도 빵도 타르쳔바 도스라고 여바래 하나다 신던도 가르스는 수구이고네 틀레 타르쳔바 라보로와 수구스도 다고상지 미당 좋아서 소소소고 나단데레 산제 코랑 어디 최고랑 신저데도 나다 미난지 탈레 대바래 다섬진지 나나 잡는 나쇼고래 레다바 카시지 수구 아니 레중세마다 바카시지 초고 줄고 대외장은 대에서 레마다바네 나조 줄고 나서 소소소소지고네 가양 당토고 요래 산제 코랑 어라나 몰라 나다 미나요 말에데 빼는 섬진지 월 레당 튀먹고 나데 빼나 남게지 니만디 송년 살아샤로도 가서 사땡도 샤로도 남게 맨 니마데 거랑 가디나 지바 이나 양랑조 사땡도 아니 추 자치중다 민다다 주 장미장다 민다라 때네 아니 니마지 송년양다 민다 샤르기도 와다 추데 감가라잖아 송년양라도 그래 나랑조 레다 몰람 네바존나 산제 자야 거라기 말해 산제 거랑 가디나 휴요래 가디나 로는 텔라낭데 요래데 섬진지 뭐네 아니 몰람다 레이 네바지고는 타면은 연구요래 따디 로는 텔레 가디 봐도 난거라서는 텔레 딱잡 풍족서 그래 섬진지 감다 타 만족게 봐도 산지지 텔레 가디나 좋아요 말해 산제 나도면 띵은제 갈라쇼네 가야 맞아봐 하대 주로래 전세 그래 되네 말해 산지지 챔베 셰드 하정기 단남도 그 짐바 메버라 마도바 하정기 고양 뭐 하정기 자충 뭐 하정기 살부 쇼지로와 다는 아주 미그 통화도 암적과 디즈마도바 셴바샤라샹 아주 고주되고 말 셰두고요 말에 나랑 그거네 장쇼당 캐쇼 아주 인정기래 산지지 챔베 셰를 지소나 아주 셰바디 셰바거라 말에 무슨 자충 조래 산지 자충 뭐 쇼지요래 상마켄 켄신도 아니 강라 강도 유건데 섬진게 다 맞아 봐도 노던틀레 카드이나 난게요래 현던도 주고 다디 가리 난거를 현재 뉴스 주고는 서로와 섬진이 가망 뭐바든 저 tenge요래 섬진 뢰매당 왜 자와 안데 섬진도 자와된 초르요 말은 아주 어딱 딩해 초르 디파주 초르선도 초르 제기로 와 섬진 저 산지지 자와 두 내는 짠이요 말은 텔레데 다 강라 강도 주고는 내가 강 섬진 강라 강기 자와 제 고사래 dende jugonya ne chele nang yore jazang ta na ngarang so kasanji jo songrap nang la ta yunde songrap ya la junye second no chuju pombo jeju shidong second no da da ya ne thebaren ba sumji chöden je le yong do wa de sanje table ke be je zabare ko khang khang do je chö song de ri man do ma bo sha song re de ne shen ka su gu yi ne chele ta do cha ba ji ota sanje se du zana dordu tendeji kono 되게 도 규라만 나오잖아 빼망보 요래 때스 가보도
So if we were to elaborate on the qualities of the free jewels, then there's a really wonderful source, a text that is entitled in Sanskrit the Uttara Tantra Shastra. It's one of the treatises of Maitreya Buddha, and in English it's translated as the Supreme Continuum. And there, in that classical treatise, there is a really profound explanation of the qualities of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. It is said that the Buddha is endowed with the 6 qualities that belong to the 2 categories benefiting self and others. The Dharma is endowed with the 6 qualities that belong to the 2 categories of the Dharma, which is the truth of the path, and the Dharma, which is the truth of cessation. And the Sangha is also endowed with the 6 qualities that belong to the 2 categories of freedom and awareness. But this is going to be too difficult to, I mean, it will be too much to explain those, 6 qualities and the 2 categories. So it's going to be maybe perhaps too much, because it's also very profound and vast topic, and it requires some time. So I'm going to just summarize. I'm going to summarize to explain the qualities in a bit more like straightforward manner. So what are the qualities of the Buddha? The qualities of the Buddha are known as the qualities that pertain to Dharmakaya, the body of truth, which are there for one's own benefit, and the qualities that pertain to the form kaya, rupa kaya, that are there for the benefit of others. And let's look at those 2 categories. So Dharmakaya, the qualities that are there for one's own sake, there are 2 groups of qualities of the Buddha there. The qualities of perfect abandonment and the qualities of perfect realization or perfect accomplishment. So the Buddha is someone who had perfected what is to be abandoned and what is to be realized. So what is to be abandoned is all the concepts, dualistic fixation, all the afflictive emotions, right, disturbing states of mind, all of the conceptuality and afflictions are all gone from the mind of someone who is a Buddha. So in this way, it's like a perfect abandonment, right? Where the perfect realization is the Buddha who realized everything that is to be known. And we talk about 2 types of knowledge there. Knowledge that knows all phenomena and their multiplicity, all that there is to be known, such as someone who is a Buddha, he conceives all the objects, like what are the 2 truths, the relative phenomena, the ultimate phenomena. He realizes and has knowledge of the 4 noble truths, all the sufferings and the causes of all the sufferings and the way to be free of all the suffering, right? So, and freedom from suffering. So the Buddha is someone who has that knowledge of all phenomena that are important for liberation. And the second type of knowledge is knowing all phenomena as they are, knowing their true nature. That is the knowledge of suchness, of emptiness. Right? So a Buddha is someone who in this way perfected realization or accomplished the 2 types of knowledge, that knows all phenomena that are crucial for liberation, and also knowing true nature of all phenomena. That's the perfect realization. So in this way, the qualities of Dharmakaya, the truth body, are there for the Buddha's own sake. It's a perfect abandonment of all concepts and afflictive emotions and so on, and it's a qualities of realization. It's a wisdom knowledge, omniscient wisdom that knows emptiness, that realizes emptiness. And that Dharmakaya, the truth body of a Buddha, is not apparent to sentient beings. It's nothing that can be conceived. It's only there from the Buddha's own perspective. actually, from the Buddha's own perspective, it's beyond appearing and not appearing. There's no such concept that does it manifest, does it not manifest. It's beyond those kind of dualistic, frames of mind. Where what happens is, for the sake of other beings, the Buddha manifests the form body, Rupakaya in Sanskrit, the form body. That includes Nirmanakaya, so emanation bodies that appear actually to be seen by ordinary beings. And there are different types of Nirmanakaya, again, according to the level of, we can say, according to the purity of minds of the disciples. Some can encounter higher Nirmanakayas, supreme Nirmanakayas. Some can encounter, manifold different, manifestations of Nirmanakaya. But anyway, there is these different emanated bodies of the Buddha. And when it comes to Rupakaya, this, we can say form body of the Buddha that appears for the sake of others, there we talk about a light and activity, right? It's a light and activity of the Buddha. If Dharmakaya was there for his own sake and it's beyond appearance and non-appearance, then Rupakaya, the form body, is the one that actually appears for the beings to guide them. That's the light and activity of the Buddha, and it's always present. We say that the light and activity of the Buddha is spontaneously accomplished. So it does not require any conceptual activity on the Buddha's part. It also doesn't require any effort. It's spontaneously present, and it's always there. But why then beings cannot access this? Why some beings cannot really connect or receive or feel this blessing, this enlightened activity of the Buddhas? Well, because it depends on their personal karma and their own aspirations. It's very important, therefore, to purify one's mind and make aspirations, so then one can actually see that the enlightened activity is always there. It's always there like the sun, but sometimes it's not perceived. Sometimes, like a moon, it's reflected in the body of the water. But if there's no water, it's not going to be reflected, but it's there. But if we look at the earth, we're not going to see it if there's no, pond or some surface of the water to actually reflect. So we need that from our side. We need that. Sun and moon are always there. That's the Buddhist activity. But we need to create the conducive circumstances, a very conducive environment from our part to receive that blessing. So we shouldn't think then, therefore, a Buddha is like in deep meditative absorption and he's gone. We don't have any access. He's like we can't connect to him. He's gone. That's not the case. Even though a Buddha, someone who reached that state of enlightenment, does not have any conceptual activity on his or her part anymore, still their enlightened activity is extremely vast. It's extremely, vivid. And it unfolds in a way that, it's so vast. It's just it unfolds, it's always there. And enlightened activity comes, we can say it comes in the manner of the qualities of omniscient knowledge. So that would be one of the Buddha's enlightened activity. Like he knows everything. Our minds cannot conceive of that idea of omniscience. We can't understand how it's possible because our minds are quite limited, quite narrow. So we can't really tip into this understanding that one's mind can actually awaken to the point of knowing everything, the true nature of everything. And the Buddha has that kind of omniscient knowledge, right? And he knows everything in what's present now, what was in the past, what's in the future. And he doesn't have only knowledge, but his enlightened activity has the quality of love and compassion for everyone. And it's completely unbiased. Again, our love and compassion also there, but they're really partial, right? We kind of care for those who are close to us, right? We love those that, our party, and we don't really care about everyone. But a Buddha is someone who had awakened to one's love and compassion, that it's completely impartial. And another way that enlightened activity unfolds is in a way that the Buddha has this capacity, the third quality, that guides everyone according to their needs. Because we as sentient beings, we have very different needs, predispositions, different types of faculties, interests, and therefore different teachings suit different people. And the Buddha is someone who knows that, someone who has capacity to guide everyone according to their personal needs. And that's why we have so many teachings. That's why we have 84,000 different types of teachings. And the Buddha turned the Dharma wheel 3 times. He didn't just turn it once and give one set of teachings. He turned it 3 times because there are different disciples with different needs and different interests. And this is what we, this is the reason why we say that the Buddha is skilled in means. He's very skillful. The teachings were given in a way that it really touches everyone according to their own, right, predisposition. So, and the Buddha is very skilled in means in a way that he bestowed so many various teachings. So this is for the Buddha. Again, we have this Dharmakaya qualities of abandonment, realization, and it's for his own sake. And then we have his, that is truth body. And it's beyond appearing, not appearing. It's just this, beyond our conceptual mind. And then we have the form body that appears to guide the beings through the Buddha's enlightened activity. And it does that by means of enlightened omniscient knowledge, unbiased love, and capacity. And that was the convenient, short way to explain the Buddha's qualities.
Second yang kola tenye nangshi gyula ma nangla yang mangbo yorwa tanda di nga zula dor du longdok je che ni nangla du shan nan zhigi yore longyo che nang tokbo che da tsik doji la sheba ina che se de sana che ba min gyur che chebe tondare narang so je sim de le da nyomong ba kala de yora pena tanda chu kyakba chak yora ore chude kyakba kana chakbo ngazo samde tanda chakbo yorwa 다고 작바디 작업나는 jel로라 된 아마 샤시 니마디 왜 저디 랩서나 아니 니메 저디 작바디 저네 줄어서 해주도 저기 근데 샘 작바디 저네 아니 레다 녀모바 딱지 이셰지랑 신라 유로당이 지던다들라 저스기로와 다디 유로당에 다 당제기 남면다와 농다 또만이래 그유래 제도 롱그 저 상제기 숭샤버지 송랍까지 돌아와 가당 가이기는 내 중샤버지 렉밤당 익소당 다 된저 상마지 롱게초지다 공도당 롱게초지 제를 쓰는 저 요래 대가서 럽종 제네 셴레 되섬 제레 다 똑베쳐도 냠는 제고고 요래 대다 고바다 람 니로지 레기도 와 제도 다 페나다 렉밤당라 잠바 공부에서 주스나 잠바 공단다 하고 샤샤나 너저 생라 펜도시라 가요 말에 아니 동반이 검고래서 랍 동반이 검단라 롭종제 마샤샤나 아니 펜도스는 가요 말에 다 잠바딘조 검부 제번지 잠바 검고래 니 동반이 콜라 깨지신도 동반이 섬진다 자르고 그러와 근데 자리도 아니 다 똑비쳐 줄게 연구래 제단도도 다고 나도 되자 세당때 뭔가자 타도된조 나랑저 샘도 다나 무드네 균마셔봐 찍제질 그런 랩 되게 여러와 다 디디 균데 까고 그래 디 균도 고저지 탑 먹는데라 하는 가르서 그러서나 람지 템바스 그래 고바다 람지나 람르 다 도저지 독스케 있는데서나 도저게 냐부 메도 바꿈고도 다 양나 동반이 kom고도 셔당지 게윤고에는 셔당기 냠바 잠바 kom고도 다 양나 동반이 kom고도 때문에 게고는 텐델 kom고서라당 야나 잠바 가서 돈이 kom고도 어 텐데지 람르메 줄레테렘 제는 다 녀모부 가르치나 거나다 뛰메드니 잠바 닝제 짭도셈게 라스 근데 동만이라서 뭐 검림 로도 남바 시당 잡아 complete doing the same thing. Your mom batang namdo no chungdo rojet tungo zo tangje yika nyamba tela lam segure. Ta gogbe temba segane nyomong bata gag bichadre. Ta ngoma dojak pe chumbo shana chis kang ngajal tawdo do shuk chumbo yoba che. Ta nyamlen chere jen chungdo do na ta doksum donga den chungdo do bicha tela gogbe temba segure. Ta gogbe goba la gure. ane nyemba ngone dela ane kaza lam la gerwa o tambe chöse kindi tende jila res dinni bodela tokbe chöse gire 제동 아주 탐지 tarbadan tamji keme gobang drogo gona doje gi nyamling che rimba ngone dela ane chöse gire res.
And then we have the Dharma. And again, in Maitreya's text, Uttara Tantra Shastra, with the highest continuum, the name is in the chat now. There is a very elaborate description of the qualities of the Dharma, the 6 qualities pertaining to the truth of the path and the truth of cessation. But to make it a little easier to understand, when we speak of the Dharma, we speak of the Dharma of scriptures and the Dharma of realization. So the meaning of word Dharma, first of all, in Tibetan Dharma, because Dharma is Sanskrit, in Tibetan Dharma is, was rendered as Chö. And Chö literally means to transform. So the Tibetans, they went for, because there are many meanings of Dharma. It doesn't mean one thing only. That's why it's so hard to translate, because it's, has 10 meanings. But in Tibetan, it really has a strong connotation of transformation, of changing one's mind. For example, our mind right now is like a block of ice, and we need some sunlight, some heat in order to melt it so that it actually can become more fluid. Right now, it's so stiff, so uptight with so many things, but some warmth, which would be the Dharma, it's going to melt our ice and it will become fluid water. That's kind of the transformation that we need to undergo. And the meaning of transformation is the Dharma. And that transformation is possible if we first of all study, if we know what to do. So we need to rely on the teachings of scriptures. The Dharma of scriptures, it means the textual statements, different words of the Buddha and the commentaries composed on the words of the Buddha, those treatises we need to study. And that's the Dharma of scriptures. But that's not enough. It's not enough to just study about emptiness, learn about compassion, and leave it there, just as a mere theory. We absolutely need to put it into practice, and actually we need to internalize the teachings. And that's the Dharma of realization. That's like real Dharma happens in our own minds, in our own hearts. Dharma is not some only books that we're learning from. The Dharma is path and it's cessation. Right? The path means that when we recognize that our afflictive emotions are rampant, kind of like running wild, if we have too much anger, too much attachment or pride or jealousy, we recognize that we need to apply some antidotes. And that's what we mean by path. Path is happening, in ourselves. Path doesn't mean some kind of real place we're going to go to. The Dharma of realization is, one side of it is the path, as we said, right? Another is cessation. And the path means that we recognize when we have too much afflictive emotions and we do something about it. That's the path. We have too much desire, so we meditate on repulsive nature of phenomena, or we meditate on empty nature of all phenomena. When we have too much anger, what to do? We meditate on compassion, on loving kindness, or we meditate on emptiness. If we have too much ignorant, kind of like this oblivion, shut down state of mind, we meditate on dependent nature of all phenomena, interdependent origination. Or again, we meditate on emptiness. So all those types of meditations are the antidotes. And whatever afflictive emotions we have, we need to address it. Maybe we need to go for refuge. We need to generate bodhicitta. We need to bring to mind the impermanent nature of all phenomena, the satisfactory nature of all phenomena, the truth of karma, whatever we do matters, the consequences, right? And that would be like the 4 thoughts that turn our mind away from samsara. So whatever practice, right? There are many practices. This is just to name a few we do. They all should aim at reducing our difficult, afflicted states of mind, disturbing emotions. And that's the path. That's the Dharma realization. And then what happens is then when we actually apply these teachings, when we internalize them, we put them into practice, we really see the result. We see that now we have less afflictive emotions. Maybe our anger has decreased, our attachment or our jealousy, etc. And that cessation, now we really experience the truth of the Dharma in our own being. In our own being, when we see the results, they cease to be, or reduced at first, and then they're gone, those afflictive emotions. And that's cessation. So this is the meaning of the Dharma, right? We have the Dharma of scriptures, which we need to rely on to learn about the Dharma. We need to study, but we don't leave it there. We then have to put all those teachings into practice. We need to bring them to our own mind, to our own heart, apply in our lives, and then we see there's a path when we actually apply those teachings according to our need, and then we see the result of cessation. Right? Those 2 paths of cessation, they comprise the Dharma of realization. Awesome.
Tene da gendun sagiyore. Ke dun sudazan keola dumba yobam, keola tro yobam, kewi gunde mutun nanken wa tendejala da gendun sanabu yore. Da gyulamanala rjo yunden jeden tende sonang yorwa. Da di nega dawde tsula dune keje sheba yundu. Da ko tenji shejoji lam choji donda dunzo segurwa. Da choji donda dunzo shengenjik lagu gore. Da jabru songde ya tongbani je pardo choji dunzo ne sozo kama donba dunzo shen gogo gore, ha gogo gore. Ha kone nyamso langgenjik gogo gore. Da ko nyamso langwe remba tunyo sozo jewi kendren sege dang pakwe kendren je rigmeno nile gore. Da tongbani ngonsomdo gyula tokba dang sozo jewi je namje negabla chol semba. 소소 지원을 타르비드네 레조 윤데 뭐 타바디 파비 겐든 세큐리 다 장제 삼바 남로와 소소 지원 된서 양한테는 지든 탐 잡도 지던바 쇼원에 송데 양 샘제 지던바 쇼원에 송데 지든 탐발로 지도 규마 균량래 야 링도 파밤 딜레 촐와레 아니 딜레 링도 파밤 딜레 촐네 아니 고랑게 냠낸 점바 강다 칸이 뭐데 데 퇴바다 삼바 콤바치네 셰 데 냠절랑도 조건데 대한 릭바 차차 릭선에 셰비도 나와
Yeah, gondola karere rik jo ring
소소티오 지든 타말와 제당 규말레 링바두 쳔바 딜레 도서 야르 파바 딜레 도서 톨와 고 잡도 돈바다 섬제 돈바 쇼원에서도 고 개와 제제가 너버처로 조고 고 지든 타말와 지든 제당 제든 바 레데 소소티오랑 레데 소소티오 헨레 제버도 바바 차사와레 자정 고 대양 톨로지 차기레 아니 코나 캡도 돈다 식직 다 발루름 버제 송나 요로와 식제직에 된신 시에나 대한 롱도 보이 계속게 직직에는 대한 똑비된 많이 송요레 제도 된대지 돈다 하고는 식제 산제지 송럽이다 캡도 샘제라서 버 직직지 시에만은 고 똑비는 다 리바도 졸라는 리베윤된데 주끌어 중화래 다 그런 이 로돈 넘버시 돈다 하고는 내 냠는치는 누구요나 그 로돈 넘버시 돈데 시에로와 리바로와 and then parjin trogi nyamnen de henge yobana den ko rig barwa tende jene kewa rup deba pong wala bezun chegen ne chabdo samji hi de kadena ya malak ba dogu yona ane thekba chumbo de ne changje sambam thekba chumbo soso kewe kendun do salab chogo yobare
Patrul Rinpoche chik
sikche chiki tuen shen de lungi tenba yinsa lungi
and then nipati
Kesem, kevisem,
Oh,
kena,
gesem.
tem,
Yes.
togbi temba yin sungire.
Yes. Dine di susukievu janju sempa chegere siana ra.
Rela, suzu kiwa chanchi samba chakire. Ta
Mhm.
tongnam toba yenche di,
Yes.
pagbi chanchi samba rwa.
Yes.
Tabdo samji tomba shuwa ne sungde, suzu kiwa kendun da. Samji tomba shuwa ne sungde, suzu kiwa chanchi samba.
As for the Sangha, right now we're looking at the third of the three jewels, that of Sangha, the community, the semblance of practitioners, of spiritual companions. Sangha literally, well, from Tibetan, it means, if we were to give etymological meaning from Tibetan, means those who aspire to virtue. So anyone who had dedicated their life to pursuing something wholesome, beneficial, we can say virtuous, that's the Sangha, right? And here, when we look again at the Uttaratantra Shastra, this treatise, right, which is a treatise from where we sort of taking the main qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, but putting it in a very succinct way, the qualities there of the Sangha are of two groups, two categories, belonging to the qualities of knowledge and the qualities of liberation. Before I translated awareness and liberation, but now Khenpo explains here by awareness, it's more about knowing, because someone who is capable to know and explain just even a few words of Dharma is already a Sangha, and we will see how it is. So here, when we talk about Sangha, we can talk about ordinary bodhisattvas or noble bodhisattvas to make, to explain. So noble, and in English it has its own connotations, but here we don't mean someone like a blue blood or anything like that, but it's more exalted beings. And actually Arya in Sanskrit means bodhisattvas who have reached the first ground, bodhisattva ground. So they are on the path of seeing, means they actually directly seen the true nature of reality, and they are noble beings. That's the Sangha of the noble ones. But we also have Sangha of ordinary bodhisattvas. So how to understand that? Well, anyone who had taken refuge, generated bodhicitta, and then really dedicates their life to practicing the Dharma is already much more exalted or special compared to just ordinary beings, like ordinary folks who are not concerned with any spiritual pursuits whatsoever, right? So those beings who are capable of, as we remember, there are two sides to the Sangha's qualities, knowledge and liberation. And by knowledge, we can say those who even know one single verse of Dharma and can explain to others, they're already endowed with this quality of knowledge. And those who can practice virtue even for one moment, they're already, right, endowed with the qualities of liberation. That's how Patrul Rinpoche explains it. He says, someone who knows one verse is already endowed with the Dharma of scriptures. Someone who had practiced virtue for one single instant is already endowed with Dharma of realization. So we don't need, to set the plank quite high. Of course, the real Sangha consists of noble bodhisattva, starts from the first bodhisattva ground. That's like when you really realize emptiness directly, experientially. But even before that, okay, compared to just ordinary folks, ignorant beings, anyone who knows one single verse of Dharma, one topic, like the Four Noble Truths or the four thoughts that turn our mind away from samsara, like impermanence, our precious human life, karma, cause and effect, right? Someone who knows that already has that knowledge. Someone is already endowed with Dharma of scriptures by just knowing that. Or someone who knows the meaning of the 6 paramitas and then strives to practice them in their life practicing generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, meditation, right? On the basis of having taken refuge in bodhisattva vows, then that person is also endowed with the qualities of liberation or the Dharma of realization, in other words. So that would be someone who we still call ordinary bodhisattva because they haven't really reached the grounds, bodhisattva grounds. So they are not, they haven't had direct realization, but they're already on the path. They're not just like completely ignorant ordinary folks. So they're on the path. And they are already Sangha, right? They're already endowed with the qualities of knowledge. And for this, we just need some knowledge of, Dharma and the qualities of liberation, which means like they're liberating their mind stream. They're practicing the Dharma. So that would be the definition of Sangha.
최대 람 견른데 람족이 줄도 네 잡은 도고 요바래 다데나라 아니 삼바 간데지 고네 도그레 람나 삼바 쳬버제 섬전 탐지 돈도 송도와 나랑 저보 다로 더야 나랑 저보 기보 차야 나랑 저보 상제제도 마이바 로르루 상모스 아니 이제 파마제 가상 쉬마 된데 콘저스다 용조 상제고만 도배제도 되는 잡은 도고 그래서 가도에 버도 잡도 도거라서는 디나르 송도 두조비 장주 마도지 버도 쓰고도와 산제고 마도비 버도 잡도 도고 그래 산제고 톱사오잖아 잡도 도고야 말해 가서 곧 다르도 저 톱사로와 내려하고 줘야 가요 말해 근데 다대 마도비 버도 나서 잡도 도고 그래서 나서
So in this way, how do we go for refuge? How do we perceive the free jewels? When we go for refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, we need to see the Buddha as a guide, right? Guide who shows us the way to freedom. The Dharma need to be perceived as the path, and the Sangha as the companions on the path, like also, travelers. We can say the companions or who travel with us. When we go for refuge, the intention while going for refuge should be to go for refuge for the sake of beings, to benefit all beings. So when we go for refuge, we don't go just for one's own sake, like, just to protect myself or support myself. But the intention should be that I'm going for refuge for the sake of all beings, in order to benefit everyone. And the duration of going for refuge should be until I reach enlightenment, until the time I reach enlightenment. So here, it's important to understand that we don't just go for refuge for the duration of this lifetime or just for this year, for this week, but until we become a Buddha. Once we reach enlightenment, we don't need to go for refuge. We don't need refuge anymore, right? We become our own refuge, but until we reach that state, we need to rely on the free jewels. And so we go for refuge until we reach awakening. Mm-hmm. So that's for today. Please feel free to ask some questions now. You can unmute yourself or type question if it's easier for you. Maybe it looks like there are no questions today. Or is it like too many questions that like you're not going to ask because it's just too many? Stephanie, like, You can ask something from before or something different about the Dharma. Khenpo is very knowledgeable. You can just take, Audrey.
Anya, sorry, I'm very curious to know how the Khenpo would define emptiness. I mean, intuitively, I know what it means, but it keeps coming up a lot in different contexts.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, it has confused me a little bit because it sounds like they use emptiness for, I mean, it sounds like it has many meanings. So if you could just ask him to define it.
Tompani gidon da carrere, kainsena derian lepson, tompani, no, it's interesting yan yongidus. Tene nesampla donda mi javo japo yorepes, yana don chik javo, the tompani carreres.
또 동반이 돈당원에 대치 그래. 이나 미 고술지 미로미로 영조 그래. 나다 동반이 선알람나 단다 계란라도 스타나 하고 그래. 계란 단다 여래. 나여내 수부 요 정그래. 따제 땅나 나 가와도 내 수부 가와도 얘기 말해. 대만이 배차대 동반이래. 여래 이나 얘기 말해. 여 말해 이나 통그래. 다들 가서 잘라. Shedrub jikapsanya legure. Tanda toda Shedrub nago mare.
Line. So actually, emptiness, or shunyata in Sanskrit, shunya I think means zero. So usually translated in English as emptiness. It became sort of a standard term, although it might be misleading. Anyway, that's a translator's note. Just Khenpo says there's only one, in reality, really, there's one meaning of emptiness. But of course, it's in from the point of view of how things really are. But from our point of view, we all might have our own understandings. Yeah, we might all have our own definitions, some kind of intuitive feeling about it. But actually, it's only one thing. So what is it? If you look at yourself and you engage in some investigation, you will see. Like for now, it seems that if you think about yourself, you feel like I'm here, I am, and when you point finger, it's like this me, right? This kind of body, this is me. I'm not there else. I'm here. I'm not somewhere else. This is me. But if you really analyze using some reasoning, where is me? Who is me? This is me? This is really me. You will try, if you look for the so-called self, and you won't find it. And if you look for this kind of body and try to really pin down where is this body, you can't do it. You won't find it. And so arriving at not finding anything is emptiness. And yet, even though you don't find anything really truly there, it still seemingly appears. It's seemingly there. So we will, it's a very paradoxical thing, emptiness. Things are empty means they don't have truly existent core from their own side. And when you search, you don't find that core, and yet things still appear. And we will speak more about emptiness because it's part of our text. It will actually come later when we look at the 6 paramitas, and the last one is wisdom. And wisdom comes down to realizing emptiness. And so we will have more about that, but just not now. But in short, what we call emptiness is actually true nature of all phenomena. Yeah, that. We still have 10 minutes.
It's not so much a question as a comment and an appreciation, or maybe a confusion, I'm not sure. But as Khenpo was speaking about taking refuge and having no ulterior motive and having no thoughts that this would be of benefit to me, that I'm going to get something out of it, that I have a greedy desire in it, in making my offerings, I started to think, my brain went to that logical, I think, place where I'm thinking, wait a minute, I am taking refuge for the purpose of, so I have a greedy motivation. I want to gain merit. I want to reach enlightenment. So isn't that a greedy motivation? And then soon after that, the Khenpo relieved my mind by saying, you do have a motivation, and your motivation is working towards enlightenment. So I was really grateful to hear that.
Yeah, Stephanie, just one thing, that because you're saying during taking refuge, Khenpo said no ulterior motive, but he said it during making offerings, because now I feel like, right?
You're right.
Yeah, and then during taking refuge, Khenpo said motivation shouldn't be on selfish, only for oneself, but it should be for all beings. That's all what he said now. But before he said about offerings that we shouldn't have this motivation to gain something. But your question is very good, so I'm going to translate. I just wanted to clarify
My
this
mind
too.
is so full that I'm pulling out the
I
wrong
understand.
words.
It's fine. Yeah. Okay. We're on the same page. That's all what I wanted to. Yeah. Oh, I wish I can help you to empty your mind. Anyway, Khenpo dirinti chopa kulvi kapsu not so kunlondi the reva the reva the kresa namila reva mepa gone. The not so kunlondi the chik tobie the chik tobgi ins the go the chik chogimare the jekunlondi chik chogimare. The ne nadi kapsu chik gotomson de kapsu ngomadi. Zinchadi chik kila ale di nayan di chopa tuli kapsu nadi te chik sonam gogidus ta kainsena janchub gopan top gudus te chik gopa chik yorera chik digore sonam gore janchub top tene di jema ta kempogi kapjo kapsu chik son de natsu kulondi semchentam chigi chedu chik janchub gopan top gore stik tene di kolon di digeres ra janchub gopan to bigi kolon digeres kainse noman na let's go tomson kolon di kare reva di yona digimares inen janchub gopan to bigi de reva yan reva ran res tenen de da dampudi na digimares samjung de jema kempo gi son da digores ta
나서 다 딜렌양 마게 올라 양 레브그레 단다야 슈초그레 올라 삼든 가수 레브그레 이나다 디 조디 랑둔 예제 제로 세근디 렌 측직이 되게 랑둔 예제 측부로 디 되게 말했으게 셴전도 되게 요래 셴전도 나산지 고마 톱도요 셴게치도 나치 지금 세근디 되게 도와 나랑 측부 선은 로디요나 다들 장주 선배람들라 아니 달래 당보바도 빵다 두고 말어 갈래 충도단에 답시던 거 그래요 쓰비게 잘해 현도는 줄라더니 초바 풀값도 양 현섬전 탐주 제체도 되네 산지고 뭐 dob도요 대기 꿀롱요나 딜라다는 가바나요 말해 나랑 지고 되네 지기 야고 차원 나랑 지고 니니 야고 차원 섬로데 아니 뉴로 당스게 그래 매바 쇠람나 섬전 내 당보바 매바서 투지 말어
So the answer will to this kind of question / confusion will come later, again during the paramita of meditative concentration, but I will already mention it now. In Buddhism, the motivation of selfish motive, like you said, ulterior motive, or like actually selfish agenda is never welcomed. So it's never like, oh, I want to attain enlightenment, period. It's always, I want to attain enlightenment for the sake of others. Same with the merit. Oh, I need merit, so I'm going to get merit by making offerings. But if it's only that, that's again selfish. I need merit so that I can help and benefit others to bring them to enlightenment. So the final right goal is always for the sake of others. Even enlightenment is not the final goal. Actually, the enlightenment is only the place from where we can benefit others, because that's the real motive, not the enlightenment itself. But of course, as beginners, we can't just like make ourselves selfless beings. Like, okay, from today on, I will not wish for myself, only for others. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight, right? We all know it's not that easy. So it's okay, but at least we need to be aware that we need to try to reduce that selfish agenda and try to expand it to include others. So if we already have the motivation to achieve enlightenment for the sake of others, that's fine. That's not to go. I mean, for now. I mean, maybe eventually when we go beyond all concepts, yes. But for now, we keep that one. But if we have only motivation, I want to achieve enlightenment, period, then we should try to work on that to expand it so that we can include others slowly, slowly. It's not going to happen very quickly, but slowly we can. That's already, we should focus on that. Yeah. But we're not there yet to focus on not have any motivation. I mean, so we need to keep that one of wanting to achieve enlightenment so we can benefit others. That's a good one to keep.
Sonam de damje zebani tomne nyebe chana bamje kega naje balam choba sebe zole jowa jolwara shu changjo zemjo rimboji maje banam jejoji Keba nyamba meba yang Kone kondo belwa rasho